We are making history, boys. Welcome to the first ever live stream of Tifosi Culture TV. I'm your host, Hothsot, and I'm joined by two very special analysts and my favorite co host. Please welcome my first co host, Murali Krishnan. Hi, buddy.
Hey
How are you?
guys, how are you? Yeah,
I'm
I'm
good,
good,
but
man. How are you?
I'm good, buddy. And for those people who don't know, Murli is a avid Bayern Munich fan. So, who's your favorite player, Murli?
Yeah, my fair play is Frank Ribery.
Frank Ribery. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, fine. Now I'll get back to my other analysts. Okay, see you, buddy.
Mm,
Now, my second analyst for today, he is coming all the way from Edinburgh. Please welcome Sairam. Hi,
Hey,
buddy.
buddy. Hello.
How are you, Ben?
Good. But
How's
I just
everything?
noticed you got the name wrong, Edinburgh. But it's fine.
Whatever.
Everything's cool. Everything is cool, man.
Whatever. Yeah. So I think the podcast listeners know you very well.
I,
And bro, can you just mute the live stream because I can hear myself clearly?
wait, I don't. I'm not actually doing anything. I
Okay, you're
haven't
not.
got this.
Okay, fine.
No,
All
no.
right. Cool. Fine then. So your favorite player is who, bro? Marcus Rashford, right?
Yeah, right now, Marcus Rashford.
Uh, all right. Okay, fine. Cool, bro.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. And now my second analyst coming all the way from the US. Please welcome Nitin. Hi, bro.
Hey, Hotshot, how's it going?
Everything's good, bro. How's the US?
It's okay. It's starting to get a little cold now that winter's approaching, but it's all right.
Yeah, awesome. And for the listeners who don't know that you are a ardent Arsenal supporter, right?
Yep. Gunnar.
And yeah, and as the title card shows, that Gerrard is your favorite player of all time.
Yeah, I think we need to have a separate discussion with Tofik once. And
Don't worry. For the listeners who don't know, why do you love Gerrard so much?
I mean, it's. I actually don't have a specific opinion about him. It's just that I do that to piss off some Liverpool fans. I know.
Okay, fine. Now let's bring in everybody into the stream. Hey, buddy. Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hey, Ron.
So you guys all watched the Champions League, right?
Yeah,
So shall we talk about that
Yep.
first?
yeah. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So which game shall we talk about first? The big game, United versus Leipzig, or Juve Barca?
I would go with first Man United versus Arsenal because there are two players here. Yeah.
Day. First we'll talk about the Champions League game. Then we'll talk about
Yeah,
United
okay.
Arsenal.
No issues. Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Do you want to do
The
UA
Champions
Barca
League.
first?
Yeah, we'll do
Yeah,
Barca
sure.
Juve. Let me just. So, what did you guys think of the game overall in general? Barcelona had to win this game because just recently, like the day before, before the game, Bartomeu announced his resignation, so it was a must-win for them. So they had to like show a statement on the field. So like I just wanted to get your thoughts on how important that game was for Barca and for Barcelona.
Yeah, they sort of look different, didn't they? Like almost as if they have that little bit of freedom now that Bartomeu is gone. I personally felt that the link-up play between Griezmann and Messi was exceptional. So they linked up really well, which is a good sign for them, obviously. Dembele was once again fantastic, and I think his fitness is going to be key to their season.
Yeah. And coming to Juventus, Ronaldo didn't play the game. He was diagnosed with COVID-19. So how, like from a mental standpoint of Juventus, because they couldn't have their best player on the pitch, how do you think that impacted them mentally? Because Yeah, it's a big loss, right?
Yeah,
I don't
definitely,
think.
man. So you can see that yesterday Morata was there, so he was continuously dropping offside. So there are like at least three offsides against him. He actually dropped the ball into the net, but he was completely offside each and every time he just dropped it. So in case of Ronaldo, he'll just be at the right place at the right time. If that's the mentality he has, so his presence was definitely missed yesterday.
Mm. Now, Sai, like you were busy watching the other game, I know, but how, like, which team would you rather face in the s- knockout stages?
You can't put me on the spot like that, man. Uh, but I mean, yeah, we play whoever you want to play. So you can only play what's in front of you, right? So, but I think yesterday Barca looked a little bit stronger than Juventus. I don't know if it's down to lack of Ronaldo, but Juve did have the ball in the net three times, but they were all ruled out. I think one of them was I wasn't sure if it should have been ruled out or something because Morata put the ball in the net and they ruled it out for
Yeah, he
handball.
put the
So
ball actually two times in the net. One was in offside
I
position,
think
and the other was also offside, but it was ruled out because
I
of
think
handball.
I think it was handball. So he had a hat trick, but all of them were ruled out. But uh, I'm not too sure about Juventus, man. With Pirlo and with the players they have, uh, they look toothless, if that's the right word. So I don't know. Uh, Barcelona, like Nitin said, they look good, especially the play with between Messi, Griezmann, and there was one piece of play where they interchanged and he hit the post, and that was really good. So I think they they look okay, but they're not the Barcelona of the old, so they are beatable. So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look
So
at their performance yesterday, they had like zero shots on target if you take away the discounted goals. So it was very obvious that they were missing their best player.
Yeah,
Kulusevski
Starman.
and Dybala, they found themselves in the same position a lot of times, and yeah, they just weren't able to conjure anything.
yeah, because without Ronaldo, Kulusevski had to step up, and I don't think we saw a lot of him that game. You know, he was putting in crosses for Morata, but Morata was just like born offside, and he just couldn't finish it off.
Yeah, one
And
of the players the yesterday who was very lively was Cuadrado. So he was just moving forward, putting in the balls, but Morata was not up to the mark for that. He produced one superb cross, but again Morata came in an offside position and just scored the goal. So it was useless.
Mm.
Yesterday they definitely missed the Ronaldo. Yeah.
Yeah, and talk to me about Miralem Pjanic, man, because that
Yeah,
guy
man. He
was.
was like, yeah, he was just spreading the play everywhere. Low. He was like going into the centers, in between the center backs, and he was just spreading the ball from one side to the other. He was like superb yesterday. And one of the main reasons that Barcelona had the ball continuously was because of his. Uh, he was like resisting every kind of pressure that Juventus put on him. So like he just had a beautiful coordination with Messi. Messi was continuously dropping deep. He was moving to the left side, so he was good yesterday. But the main reason yesterday was because of Pjanic. So he was like this. He was the basic distributor for all the balls that Barcelona
Yeah,
got.
yeah, okay. And Nitin Sai, your thoughts? Anything?
like I said, I didn't watch the game. I watched the highlights, and I thought from whatever I watched, their play. I think it went through him, so he was decent. But I didn't understand why they had to sell him. Like Juventus, it was his first game back against his former side. I don't think did Arthur play yesterday. I don't think so, right?
No, Arthur didn't play yesterday, no?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I don't.
No,
it
no,
was.
Yeah,
it was
He
Bentaker.
came on as
It
a
was
sub.
Bentaker.
That's it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, and now I think we're done with the Barca
UV
Juve game.
game.
So let's come to the big one. I think Sai is waiting to get at that game.
Yeah.
It's
Come on,
Manchester
Sai. Yeah.
United. It's Manchester United 5, RB Leipzig nil.
Just when you say that, it makes me
Legendary
smile, man.
scoreline.
I didn't expect us to win 5-0, to be really honest. I would have been happy with a draw at the start. Uh, so we always said we need 10 points to get out of the group. So if we had got a point yesterday, we would have had 4 points. And then the next two games are against Istanbul, Başakşehir. So if you win those two, you'd have 10 points. So that was what I was thinking. And then we scored the goal, and okay, I thought maybe we could hold on for a 1-0 and get away with it. But what happened in the second half after Bruno and Rashford came on was something out of this world.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I think
So talk
they
to
just
me. Yeah.
I think they just fell apart after the second goal. I guess Leipzig, they were too naive. They're just trying to press United up high, leaving spaces behind, and it suited us. We just hit them on the counter every single time.
Yeah. Like starting at the start of the game, you would be happy with a 1-0 win for Manchester United or even a draw at that match for that fact. Now, coming like into the game, Mason Greenwood had a point to prove. Anthony Martial had a point to prove, at the previous Champions League game.
That happens.
So, yeah. So all these players had a point to prove, and I think Ole really managed that game very well. He got the team selection spot on. We used a diamond formation for the first time, I think, this season. Like, why do you think that the diamond formation was used in this particular game?
You know what? When he first got the job after Jose was sacked, he played this diamond formation. So he played Rashford and Martial up front, Pogba just in behind them, and he had Matic, Fred, and I think he used Ander Herrera on the other side. And that's when we went on that run. I think it was 12 games or 14 games unbeaten.
Yeah.
And then for some reason he switched it up, and then that towards the end we fell off. And last season as well, he didn't really use this formation as much. So if you want to play Pogba, Bruno, Van der Beek all in the same team, I think the diamond formation would be the way to go forward. Pogba on the left yesterday was devastating. You could argue that you could switch Van der Beek or Bruno on the tip of the diamond and play the other one on the right hand side, and Fred can sit in, or Matic or McTominay. So I think that would be our best formation, but he still doesn't trust the defense that much, so that's why he had to play Fred and Matic together. Fred, I know he played on the right, but he was dropping deep and he was breaking up everything. So I think two or three goals that we scored yesterday, it was because of him. He broke up the play and he passed it forward, and that's when we went forward and scored. So he is one player that's massively improved over the last couple of years, and I hope he keeps up this form.
So I
Yeah.
have a question for you. Like, if Rashford is to come into the 11, who does he replace? Greenwood?
Yeah, I think Martial and Greenwood can be rotated, but this season is not like the previous seasons, right? We have games coming up thick and fast, so I think it's nice to have good attacking options up front. So we have Cavani as well. So if he's going to play two strikers, he could have the other two on the bench, wear the opposition out, and maybe bring them on, say around 60 minutes or 70 minutes to have a go towards the end. So that's what they did yesterday. They were in the game, and then I think Leipzig were really tired after 70 minutes or something, and then that's when the floodgates opened. So that was a good tactic used by Ole. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Now, coming to RB Leipzig, why do you think they did so bad? Was it because they showed Man United almost little to no respect, or was it like Man United just capitalized on their defensive frailties, like their high line?
I could say that, but they missed a couple of key players, man. They didn't have Sabitzer, and there's
Yeah. Why didn't
another
Sabitzer
player.
play?
He wasn't fit. He was
Oh,
only
okay.
fit for the bench. So there was another player called Leimer. He's also a good player. So they missed both of them. Klosterman was also missing. But I wouldn't put their loss down to just that. But they were key players. But I don't know, man. They like I said, they were being too naive. Even after they went 2-0 down, they were still pressing us up high in the pitch and leaving lots of spaces in behind for our strikers to exploit. So you can see clearly from the second goal that Rashford scored, they didn't have anyone in their half. Every single one of their players was inside United's half. So that's how he was onside. So I think that was a bit of. I mean, it's well and good that you want to go away from home and try to have a go and get a result, but sometimes you need to be sensible. So if you recall the Aston Villa Liverpool game, that's the same mistake they did as well. So when you're down 3-1 or 4-1, it's time to shore up. Like just be sensible. Don't commit too many forward, and maybe come away with a respectable scoreline. But they didn't do that. They still wanted to try. They wanted to push, which is good, but it's suicidal against a counter-attacking team like us, where we have quick players. So yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, and how
One
many
of the
times did they
questions
just
for you
lose the
actually.
ball in their own half and just
Yeah.
kept doing it again and again, and they had a high line and just got exposed.
And I don't know what formation they played. Sometimes I found Upamecano was a central defender. He was on the left wing, which was really weird for me. So, but yeah, you could see these things. I really like Nagelsmann. I think he's a fantastic manager, and I would like him to manage United at some point in the future. But these things I really don't understand. Him and Pep, they just come up with something, and yeah, you're wondering what the hell happened there.
Are you sure you want to talk about Pep now with me?
Yes, I have one more question to you. Like,
Yeah.
this was considered the group of death. So you have beaten PSG as well as RB Leipzig. So how much joy you feel? So you must be top of the group. So what is that you feel right now about Manchester United?
I'm happy, man. I'm really happy. In a way that we've been able to, because after we lost 6-1 against Tottenham, I did the podcast with Akash, and I was really dejected. I didn't think we would.
Yeah,
I
bounce
literally,
back. Yeah.
no, I literally told him that we wouldn't even make the top 10 this season in the Premier League. But to bounce back is one thing, but to bounce back in a way that we have done is something that's admirable, because we beat Newcastle 4-1, and then we went away to Paris and beat them 2-1. We probably should have scored more in that game. And then Chelsea, that was a bit boring, but still feel we were the better team and should have won. And again, 5-0 against Leipzig. So I'm really happy, but I'm not getting carried away with these things, because football, as you know, it can be up and down. So it's all well and good performing like this in the Champions League, but we need to perform consistently consistently in the Premier League. So, and the fixtures haven't been too kind to us. We faced Tottenham, then Paris, and then Chelsea, and then Leipzig. Now we got to play Arsenal, then we got to play Istanbul, then we got to play Everton. So yeah, but it's good that we
Tight
have a
fixtures, yeah.
consistent run, and one difference from last season is that we have squad depth, as you can see from the lineup changes that Ole is making. So that's one thing. Donny, everybody said, why is he not playing? And yesterday he played and he showed his class. So overall, I'm happy with what's been happening with the club, but I'm not getting too carried away. We need to do this week in, week out.
I also
Yeah.
wanted to give a shout out to Shaw. I know he's been slandered
Yeah,
half the season.
yeah,
I thought
yeah.
he was fantastic yesterday, especially
He
going
was brilliant.
forward. Looks
Yeah.
like competition for places has finally got him performing.
He should
Yeah,
thank Teles getting injured actually. Yeah.
that's exactly
No, tell
that's
us
exactly.
is COVID positive.
Oh yeah, that's
Okay.
exactly what I
Oh,
was
okay.
thinking, because last season he had Brandon Williams, who was just a kid, so there wasn't much of competition for him there. But now after Alex Telles, he didn't even finish one game. He only played like 60 minutes against PSG, and you could see his quality with his corners and deliveries. So Luke Shaw definitely has upped his game, but again, like I said, I'm not getting too carried away. He needs to perform like this week in, week out. He's been here for 6 years, so no excuses for him.
Yeah. And
I think I
Akash
will
Keith,
talk on. Yeah,
yeah,
I think
Akash
we
Keith
have talked
has
too
sent a
much
question.
in this actually.
What do you think about Pogba playing on the left instead of Dan James? What do you think, Sairam?
Uh, Pogba wasn't a left winger per se, but he like I said, he was devastating. His link up play was good. He was pressing, which was surprising to me. He was chasing balls, which is good. That and it means that he is capable of doing these things consistently. But like I said, he has to do it week in week out. He's been here 4 years. We've had this conversation before. Nobody is doubting his talent. He's a world class talent. But if you want to keep him on the same breadth as KDB or even Mesut Ozil of the past, then you have to keep putting in performances after performances week in week out. So you can't choose to play 1 week and don't turn up the next week. So yes, he was really good, and I will give him that. And the assist was great, but he needs to do this even consistently, even more before we can start praising him. But yeah, he I will give him his due. He was fantastic.
Yeah, and talk to me about the substitute that Ole made. He brought on Marcus Rashford, and immediately the man made a big impact.
Hattrick, yeah.
Yeah, Hattrick. Like that was amazing. Like his first goal. Okay, fine. You can say that the RB Leipzig defenders thought he was offside, but the second and third goals, like just brilliant, man. He's a real special guy.
You know what? He actually done us a favor there because he absolutely ripped apart Upamecano and brought his value down. So do you see the second goal he scored? He just took it away from him and then smashed it in the bottom corner. So,
Yeah.
he's fantastic. But again, he was so frustrating against Paris, but he turned up with a winning goal. Some of his decision making in the previous game against Paris was questionable, but I mean nobody can criticize Marcus Rashford after that and what he's been doing off the pitch as well. So he's a good player. He's a good human being as well. So let's just leave him, like let him do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And yeah, so like, what do you think about the same kind of strategy that United will employ against Arsenal? Because we all know, like against PSG, Ole switched to a 3-5-2. That worked well against PSG, and we all of us thought we should use like almost a similar formation or like something similar in the next game. But then against Chelsea, Ole completely changed the formation. He brought on Dam James. He changed the
Mata.
formation. Yeah, Mata, and we got a 0-0 draw. So, do you think Ole should persist with this diamond formation, or do you think that it is should he revert back to the old formation what he used against Chelsea?
I don't think he should go back to. I mean, he could use the same formation that he used against Chelsea, but I don't think he should use the same players, especially the front three or four. So he could use Rashford and Bruno, but that's about it. I don't want to see Mata or don't want to see Daniel James starting against Arsenal because Daniel James he relies upon spaces, and I don't think we're going to get that against Arsenal because you know how Arteta sets his team up because they don't have a creative player. I could empathize with him, but he's going to come and try to get a point. That's what their strategy is going to be. So I don't think playing Daniel James in that in the formation or I mean playing him at all is going to help us. But yeah, I see him being cautious and going with the same formation, not the diamond, with the other formation, with different.
Sai?
So you are breaking it.
As far
Sai,
as
you're
our
breaking up,
strategy is
Sai.
concerned, we would. Ayo, can you hear me now?
No. Anyways,
So
Nitin.
whatever the
uh,
formation, I still think Fred should be one of the first names to start in their midfield.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I
can you
already
hear me
said,
now?
he was my man of the match. Like I know Rashford got all the goals and the plaudits and everything, but I think Fred was my man of the match. Like he was
Yeah.
literally everywhere, broke up play, distributed play well, and I think he should start against Arsenal.
Yeah, definitely. Fred really broke his way into the side. Like everyone thought that, you know, everyone thought that he would be leaving the club in the near future, and he isn't in Ole's plans. But I think he really proved himself. You know, I really think that he broke into the first 11, and he should start against Arsenal. Now, I think we've covered enough about Manchester United in the Champions League. Now, I think it's time to talk about the Gunners. And before we do that, there's a question from Tofik. This is for Nitin. What is your response to
What's your
Sai
response?
talking about Arsenal without a creative player?
Well, so I do think that we have a creative player, but we're not using him well. The player I'm talking about is, of course, Nicolas Pepe.
Okay.
I do think that he's our most creative player, but due to the way that the team is set up in Arteta's tactics, we're not able to get the best out of him. Um, so Arteta, I mean, he typically likes to create overloads on the left side. We have a lot of attacking players on the left side. We have Tierney, we have Saka, we have Aubameyang, obviously, Maitland-Niles whenever he plays. So all of those players, they create overloads on the left, and that's why Auba gets into those situations a lot of times. But when you look at the right side, we only have Pepe, and Bellerin does overlap every now and then. Maitland-Niles too, whenever he plays as a backup right back. Um, but whenever Pepe receives the ball, he's either up against two players or someone who can just prevent him from cutting inside. Uh, so I believe the key is to have a really overlapping right back, which will allow Pepe to just come in and do some of his magic for us.
Yeah, exactly. And now we'll be. You guys have been having not to say like a bad start, but you guys had a lot of tough opposition coming into this game. You guys faced Man City. You lost 1-0. You guys faced Liverpool. You lost again, and then again you faced Leicester. You
Lost again.
Yeah. So the like against Leicester particularly, Jamie Vardy showed like a blueprint on how to face you guys. It's like sit back, stay in the game, block the spaces, and try to hit them with pace on the counter, and try to expose your defense. And that is something United did massively against RB Leipzig. So that kind of tactic played well into our hands. So what do you think Arteta will try and do differently to, you know, stop
Yeah,
that from
that's
happening?
exactly it. I mean, we all saw that coming, especially after all of those missed chances in the first half for us. And we all kind of sensed it, I guess, as soon as Vardy came on. Lewis going off, getting injured, that's not good news at all, which means the only other senior centre back we have right now, apart from Gabriel, is Mustafi,
Yeah.
who I believe will start on Sunday. Uh, and when you look at Leicester's goal that day, you can like 30 seconds before that goal, you can clearly see Gabriel signaling to Mustafi to stay in line, not go forward, leaving spaces behind. But he clearly does not do that. Leaves a lot of space behind, and uh, so I think it's gonna be a very hard, tough battle on Sunday,
Yeah.
especially since Mustafi is gonna start. I mean, he has been very good on occasions under Arteta, but um, when all of our centre backs are fit, obviously he wouldn't be uh, first choice.
Yeah. And
Okay.
coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one more question. Like, Nitin, what do you think of the Ozil situation here, man? Would he be, if he was not frozen out, would he be helpful in this particular match? What do you think about that?
So even if he were part of the squad, I don't think he would have been starting. Um, I don't think the manager trusts him in tough away games, especially these intense sort of games. Uh, he's perfectly all right against teams that love to defend deep, especially when we're playing at home. So he can help unlock those defenses. But uh, I wouldn't necessarily pick him when we're playing away against a big side. But talking about the whole situation, I think it's just a shame, isn't it? Um,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, man.
especially as a fan, like we don't really know what happened. Like he started every game under Arteta before the lockdown. He was actually good. He created the most number of chances for us. And then as soon as we restarted football, he was dropped. Like he was not even in the squad. He was once, but then we don't really know what went wrong. And it's kind of hard to believe that it is all down to footballing reasons, even though Arteta says so, right? Like
I
his
think he
timing, the comments he made about China and the treatment of, you know, I think that's certainly not a coincidence. Um, and yeah, it's just a shame. Like if you're paying a player that much, um, you should at least have him in the squad, especially when you have a clear need at that position. And
Yeah, he might
uh,
have helped like coming off the bench. That would have been very helpful actually.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, if you look at our game against Leicester last week, uh, we had we had literally no one in that position. Um, so we had the front line, the front five, and we had a couple of midfielders, and there was no link up between. And ideally, you would have someone like Ozil drop into that space, receive the ball, and feed it to one of our more dangerous players. And uh, he also helped. If you look at last season's game against United, the one at the Emirates where we won 2-0, I think he helped. Pepe was the man of the match in that game, and I think Ozil really helped because on a lot of occasions he drifted over to the right side, and of course he allowed Pepe to come in, and that's where he is at his best. So I personally think he would be a big loss.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Now, coming to the previous head-to-head, like this was Arteta's the previous game at the Emirates. That was Arteta's first game against Ole. You guys, like you said, you guys won brilliantly 2-0. But the game previously, like at Old Trafford, you guys drew 1-1. I think you guys haven't beaten us since 2006, I think, or something, at Old Trafford.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Like now, I think there's a clear pattern that says like because of the fans, I think Old Trafford has been made a fortress. But now there are absolutely no fans, and now that we are playing on an even playing field. Do you think that will like have an impact in this game?
I mean, it certainly does make a difference. Definitely not having fans in the stadium, but what a difference a week makes, doesn't it? Like before the last game week, we were all really hyping up Arsenal. United fans before the PSG game, they weren't happy, and
Yeah.
so after the last game week, everything has changed, and suddenly Arsenal are, I'd say, pretty huge underdogs for this weekend. So yeah, I mean, the crowd does play a huge part, especially at a stadium like Old Trafford, where you have like 80,000 fans getting on your back. So I think it might help Arsenal in some sense, but considering all the injuries we have, especially in defense, I'd say a draw would be the best result.
Yeah. Now coming to the managers, Mikel Arteta, in the quotes of the great Sairam, man's just a handsome Tony Pulis.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I just posted
Yeah, you said
something.
man's just.
No,
man's
it-
just.
wait. I saw someone tweet that out on Twitter, and then I pasted
Yeah,
it in
that's
a
what.
group.
So you
It's
said
just
man said.
someone said he's just a handsome Tony Pulis, and I don't want to talk about it.
That's what you don't need to talk about it. I'll let Lithan talk about it.
But you know what?
About it.
I asked Bala if it's true, and he said yeah, after yesterday's result, it's probably true. After they lost against Leicester, he said
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah, so coming to you, Nitin, like where's it going wrong for Arteta? Because basically he started off on the right foot, like he played like brilliant attacking football last season, and then that loss against Spurs in the league happened, and then he started reverting to this 3-4-3 slash 4-3-3 hybrid. He got results with it. He won an FA Cup. He beat City. He reached the finals and he won the FA Cup. But so far now, currently, it's like it's not working out. Basically, it has been it's been used to a good effect, but against the big teams, it has not been working out. So, what do you think happened basically against like for Mikel Arteta?
I mean, it's a good thing that we're having these podcast shows uh, after a space of 2 3 days after the previous game, isn't it? So that we don't just uh, talk emotionally. I'm not gonna go
Yeah.
into what we spoke about in the Arsenal group right after the game, uh,
Okay.
but yeah. Um, so in the 5 games that Arteta has started with a 4-3-3, uh, he's won one,
Yeah.
and I think it's been a huge problem. I think the three-man back works well against teams that want to attack, but I don't think that's going to be the case on Sunday. I think it's going to be a game between two counter-attacking sides. Um, so he definitely has a job on his hands trying to transition his team to play with a four-man back instead of a three-man back. Because if you see the average positions of Xhaka and Ceballos in that game, uh, they didn't really know where to go. So a lot of times, uh, Gabriel, who is our best passer defensively, he had the ball right around the halfway line. He was looking for options, um, and Partey was man marked by Barnes almost the entire game. But he had two other midfielders, Jaka and Ceballos. They weren't really going anywhere. Ceballos, especially, I mean, he was trusted to be the most advanced midfielder out of the three, but wasn't really comfortable. And of course, it's going to take time. I'll give that to him. He's trying to learn something new from his manager, so that's going to take time. But uh, he really has to be the one to link up play, create spaces for some of his attacking players, and we didn't really see a lot of that from him or from Jaka. It was just flat. So Arteta, that'll be the first thing he'll need to tweak. If it doesn't work out on Sunday as well, uh, maybe try Saka again in the midfield because on current form, I'd say he's our best player.
Yeah.
Uh, but we'll have to see. I mean, we have a Europa League coming up today, so I hope we start Emily Smith Rowe because he's the closest we have to an advanced number 8 or a number 10. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nitin, and one more question. Now that we have talked like what is going to be done, let's see what has been done. Like there was Emery, he was like atrocious. He just spoiled Arsenal to the core. And what do you think Arteta has changed here?
First of all, to start with, he is playing players at their preferred positions. Uh,
Yeah,
Emery, I mean, for some weird reason, he used to see Torreira as one of our most advanced midfielders when we clearly know that's not his forte. And I don't think he never really got through to his players. His communication wasn't good enough. I mean, there was this language gap, obviously, but so personally, I mean, Arteta's first preference has been to fix the organization, get players playing the right positions. So you can obviously see that we don't concede as many goals now. We're a bit more pragmatic in our approach, and that's understandable, especially when you're trying to fix the spine of the team. Um, but I think he's done a really good job. Um, he's made us more competitive. Even if you look at the games against Liverpool or City this season, especially the one against Liverpool, we were like 2-1 down, and Lacazette had this brilliant chance to equalize. And I mean, who knows? Maybe had he equalized, we will come away with a point, or maybe something could have happened. And we were in the City game for age. I mean, it was only a 1-0 defeat. So he has made us very competitive. Uh, it looks like the team really wants to fight for the ball. Players know where to play, which is really
Yeah.
important. So the only really missing piece of this jigsaw is to find that uh, flair, that the creative spark going
creative
forward.
spark. Yeah,
So I think that will come, especially when you uh, give Pepe a really long run of games, and uh, I don't know. So we'll see. That's the only part, in my opinion, that he has left to do.
yeah. And
Nitin,
one more
one
question
question.
actually. Yeah, one more
Yeah.
question. I'll just
Okay,
finish
go.
it off. Yeah. And what do you think about Arteta's back three formations? So you have been like very low on center backs there, but he's still playing a three-man back. So what do you think about that, especially with David Lewis on the team?
Yeah, I mean, David Lewis, he's actually been pretty fantastic for us in the back three. And I feel his loss, I mean, his absence is going to be a big loss for us this week. Uh, Tierney, playing Tierney as the left-sided centre back has been a stroke of genius, in my opinion, especially since you have another left-sided player who can also defend in Saka. So I think, or Maitland Niles, I think that move has been a stroke of genius. If you notice, Saka or Maitland Niles, they either act as left wingers or act as the third central midfielder, allowing
Yeah,
Tierney to go
yeah,
forward.
yeah.
So I
Perfect.
think that has worked out really well. But again, I don't really want to see that formation when we're playing just standard Premier League teams. It's
Yeah,
okay when you're playing away against a big side who can really attack, but uh, a four-man back would be the way to go, which is why I feel we signed Thomas Partey. He would
yeah,
hopefully give our attacking players that freedom to go forward and do their thing.
yeah. And this is question covers like not a question basically, but it kind of has a point. Arteta is playing Oba in the wing from Chiquito fixes. Uh, why can't Arteta play Oba centrally? Because like his recent run, like ever since he signed the contract, it's been like 1 goal in 6 games or something like that. So, what do you think is the answer for Oba to get back his form?
Uh, teams have started figuring us out, uh, and Lacazette, I don't think he's in form. He has a massive loss of confidence. He's not making those runs that he usually makes, and even when he has the ball inside the box, he takes that split second longer to shoot, allowing defenders to catch up or block the shot or whatever. Uh, so I think we should play Abba centrally, at least for the next stretch of games until we have a striker who can actually score.
Yeah,
Uh, but had you said this towards the end of last season, I don't think anyone would have even wanted that because Abba was so good on the left wing. Uh, we were getting him in the ball where he wanted the ball, where he's at his most dangerous.
yeah,
Um, and I know that he hasn't scored much. I mean, he's only scored in that Europa League game after signing his contract. But uh, has he really been given the service? Uh, has he really found himself in those dangerous positions? So I think that's something that we have to keep an eye out on, rather than just looking at Aba's numbers.
yeah. Because even in the Leicester game, he started moving towards the right hand side. He was trying to get the ball wherever he could.
Yep.
So he was literally like struggling to get in, like to get any kind of service. Now coming to you, Sai, home
Yeah,
team.
wait. I
How?
have a question for him. So you signed Partey for 50 million, right? Did you really need him? Why couldn't you have signed an attacking player, say someone like a Draxler from PSG or someone who could play behind the strikers to link up the midfield? I think Chaka and Ceballos they were working well towards the end of last season. So all you guys needed was someone to link the attack and the midfield. So when you guys signed Partey, I didn't really understand why, because I mean I mean after what you just said, I kind of understand because you just said that they needed some steel in the midfield, and but that's all good. But already you guys were playing three at the back, which was quite defensive as a formation itself. So I thought it would have been best suited for you guys if you had gone out and spent that much money on a creative player, especially after you know that Mesut Ozil is not going to play. If Arteta had plans to integrate him into the team, then it's fine. But from last season, he knew that he wasn't going to play, so that signing was kind of surprising.
Yeah. So I mean, you know who we were linked to all summer? We were linked to one other midfielder apart from Thomas Partey. It was Hussein
Yeah,
Mawar.
That he would
Uh,
have been great signing.
he would have been great. I mean, in my opinion, we needed both signings, not just
Hmm.
one over the other. I feel Partey is equally important. So when you look at Partey, he's much more than just a defensive midfielder who's going to sit in front of your back four and shape the defense. just breaking up play. He does that, but his ball progression has been immense for Atletico, and I
Yeah.
think he is really gonna help us once he really gets into our style, the Premier League and everything. He's a very good dribbler. He's a strong dribbler. Uh, I get that Xhaka and Ceballos played well towards the end of last season, but if you look at their best performances, it was against sides who love to attack, and we were with a three-man back. Uh, they are not athletic players. Um Especially with sides against good midfields, they will get overrun. So
Yeah.
it was a good stopgap solution for last season, but we really had to get Partey in to switch to a four-man back to really dominate those games. And yeah, I agree with you. We also needed a creative player. So I don't think we had the money, to be frank, and I think we all know that. But had we had it our way, we would have signed both.
But given a choice now, would you pick Awar over Partey, or you just stick with Partey?
Given a choice now, I would have Ozil in the squad.
No, I'm asking in terms of the signing. If you had to sign one, would you sign Awar or Partey? I mean, now that
Partey.
Partey's come. Okay,
I would sign Partey.
okay.
Yeah, because I think in the grand scheme of things, like you already have a creative player in Ozil, so I don't think there was a need to like sign Partey immediately. But they did not have a good spine in the defense, so
Yeah,
I think
I also think that the OR train has left now. I think maybe Madrid will come for him next time. Uh,
no, no.
I,
It's a big maybe.
Kind of like what we did with Jadon Sancho. But I think Awar was extensively linked with Juventus as well. I
yeah,
don't know what's with Juventus and midfielders. They seem to have a lot, but still want more. Uh, but I don't think he will go to Juventus. If you guys try for him in the summer, I think he probably would end up at Arsenal. And in my podcast, I was telling Hothsot that that was a signing I was most worried about. I think if you had got him, then you guys would have probably, moved ahead.
I mean,
Of
it
a lot
all
of teams.
depends on whether he changes his agent or not, doesn't it? I mean, his agent demanded 20 million at the last minute, and that was one of the key reasons why the transfer fell through. And uh, I think if that doesn't work out, one name to keep an eye out for would be Solskjaer. He was excellent against Atletico. Uh, I'd say he cost somewhere around 20 to 25 million. I believe he has a release clause, I'm not sure. But he's 21. I think he's going to be a great player.
Yeah, 100%. Now, Sai, over to you. We just won against RB Leipzig. Don't tell me you're not confident winning 5-0 against Arsenal. tell me how
5
you
nil, yeah.
tell me how you feel going into this game.
I feel the way I felt before the Chelsea game. I was nervous because the playing. I mean, playing in Europe is one thing, and playing in the Premier League is completely a different thing because you play those teams once a while in Europe, but these guys. You've been with them for years and years. So I don't think having the same strategy or a plan is going to make any difference against Arsenal. Uh, you could take. I could give you a number of examples where we've done well in Europe and we've gone on and lost to teams like Burnley or Newcastle the following week. So you can't really take these games for granted. So like I said, I am nervous for this game because it could go either way. Depends on what happens on the day. So
But you're
yeah.
confident, right?
I mean, I do want my. I mean, I'm not arrogant. I mean, I'm confident in a way that
Not
You,
arrogant,
you,
just
you,
better.
you
They
have.
come-
You said on September 10th that the only player who's decent at Arsenal is Saka, apart from Aubameyang. So I'm pretty sure you would be confident.
wait, was that before?
Playing against two decent players?
Was that before you guys signed the Gabriel or?
September 10th. I'd say it was around that time.
Yeah, I think you guys signed Gabriel after that. I think he's a good player, man. I really like him.
Martinelli or Gabriel
No,
Magalhaes?
the defender.
Okay,
He's a good signing for them. And I also think you guys sold the wrong keeper. Think you should have kept Emi Martinez because Leno was a bit shaky against. I think it was Rapid Vienna the other night.
Yep.
He made a couple of mistakes. Something about him. I mean, he's a good shot stopper, but playing out from the back, I don't think it suits him. And so yeah, I was just kidding. Yeah. So, but I do like I said as well. So
Yeah. Sai, what does Ole need to do, like, to avoid an upset
I
against
wouldn't
Arteta?
call it an upset, man.
It's
I
an
wouldn't call
upset
it an
only.
upset.
I can see it.
Well, he see, what we're doing right now seems to be working. So he doesn't need to tinker or change things too much. Stick with what he knows. If he wants, obviously he wants balance in midfield. So I think he would play Fred and McTominay again in midfield. So that will stay, and the back four won't change. So it's all about the front four now. So whoever he chooses to play.
Yeah.
Okay, you are
So
saying that your back four is really good. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I didn't say that. I said he would play McTominay and Fred because
Okay.
he because he's not confident about. You could see the difference. We played Matic and Pogba there before Newcastle, and we were conceding goals left, right, and centre because Pogba's not the kind of a guy who's going to track back or give that solidity in the midfield. But Fred and McTominay, they do the dirty work. So that's why one of the reasons why we've scored 11 goals and conceded only 2 since that Spurs game. So I think they both will play, and that would give our midfield some and the defense some solidity. So it's all about the front four now.
Would you start Van de Beek?
Again, if you play a diamond,
Tricky.
if you play a diamond, I think I would start him, but I don't see him starting. So I think the team that will play against Arsenal would be the same team that played the midfield and the defense would be the same against that played against Leipzig, and see Pogba playing and Bruno instead of Van de Beek, and probably McTominay instead of Matic. And then the strikers again. I don't know. Martial is suspended, so you could see Rashford and Greenwood up top, or Rashford and Cavani up top. So it could be either way.
That's a final one.
So final,
Right.
Sairam has agreed.
He just nodded. Yeah.
He's nodded.
I thought you said
It's
that's
a
a final
final.
lineup or something. It's not a final. I don't think. See,
You
like
heard
I
it here
said,
first. Match
Leip-
predictions: Manchester
Leipzig-
United 5, Arsenal
Leipzig,
0.
Leipzig came to Old Trafford to play, and they were open. Arsenal will not do that. So I don't see Arsenal losing at all. And if at all I see them losing,
So
they
you're
won't lose.
saying Arsenal would win?
They will. There's another result called a draw. Have you not think about? I mean, not thought about it, or does the Bundesliga doesn't have draws? must be very hard supporting Bayern Munich because they win every single week and
Hey, I
there's-
don't
there's
care,
no-
man. I don't
there's no
care
result
about
called
this.
a
Is
draw,
not
right?
a Bayern Munich
Yeah.
live. Yeah, I don't
But
care. Yeah.
it'll be a difficult game, man. So, but we'll see.
It's all kicking off. It's all kicking off. Now, like, Sai.
But my point was proved, right? It's a farmers league. The league leaders came over to Old Trafford and got smashed 5-0.
It no longer hits me, man. No
Right?
longer hits me. Yeah.
But having said that, they Bayern are the Champions League holders, so can't really say too much.
Okay,
Yeah,
so next question. Okay, would you start Harry Maguire or Tuan-Sebe? Who will be your choice?
Maguire will play. Obviously, he's a captain. Maguire and Lindelof.
I'm
Like I said,
asking about your choice.
my choice. I'd play Harry Maguire. See, the thing is, he went through certain things in pre-season before the season started with whatever happened in Greece and stuff. So that obviously played in his mind. I don't think he's that bad of a defender. He's decent. But having Fred and McTominay, now that we've got like a couple of clean sheets, it would do his confidence a world of good. So I definitely think he would play. So yeah, he would play for me.
Noted. Okay.
Sai, what are your thoughts on this?
On what?
On the
Oh
comment.
no! Oh no! I mean, I don't. I'm surprised we haven't cancelled this contract yet because we've signed Cavani. There's no need for him to stay. He can go back to China.
Okay. Nitin, coming to you, what would be your predicted lineup?
So I think the back four, the back five should be pretty set. I mean, Leno, Bellerin at right back, and I think the centre back pairing is going to be Mustafi and Gabriel. Tierney will obviously play if he's fit. Uh, so I think midfield, we're going to go with the three-man midfield of the Partey, Ceballos, and Xhaka.
Okay.
But up front is where it's going to get interesting. I would personally prefer to see Pepe start ahead of Willian, who is now fit.
Okay.
Uh, but I think Willian will start ahead of Pepe along with Alba and Saka. So I think today's lineup against Dundalk will give us some indication. I think if Pepe starts today, then it looks like Willian will start on Sunday.
Okay. And why now Saliba? Why no Saliba?
Yeah, it's a shame that he wasn't even included in the Europa League squad, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
Arteta, I mean, he was counting on Pablo Mari to come back from injury. I mean, as per his original schedule, he was supposed to come back either this week or the next, but looks like he suffered a setback, which means he's not going to be back for a few more weeks. It would have been nice to have Saliba in the squad. Maybe started him today, and had he performed well, he could have even started ahead of Mustafi on Sunday. But he's not going to get any more game time, so I don't think we're going to start him at Old Trafford. I would really love to see him start for the first team. He has played for our under-23s on a couple of occasions. He's been all right. He's young. He went through some issues, personal issues, in the off season, and of course it's a new country, new league. So he's going to be given the time. But I would have liked to see him in the Europa League squad.
Yeah, because I remember somebody saying like, I'd rather a young kid make mistakes and learn rather than an old veteran actually making mistakes and costing us the game. Because either way, the mistake is going to be about Mustafi. Like I remember, like
Wenger was the one who said that. Like he said, if I play a young defender, I know that he's going to cost me points throughout the season. But I really want to show the world that this kid deserves to play. I mean, I might be alone when I vouch for this kid because people are going to criticize me for playing him. But I really want to give him a chance because he has that potential. And I think that's absolutely true.
Nitin, so the funny thing, Mustafi was given a contract extension and he rejected it. I don't know the guts.
Yeah, the guy who probably gave him that extension needs to get out of the club ASAP. Like, what the hell was he or she thinking?
That's what I don't understand. Should I laugh at the guy who gave him an extension, or should I laugh at Mustafi who rejected it? So,
thank God for Mustafi for saving us, I guess. I mean, we've been trying to offload him for 2 years now, and we haven't been able to find a single buyer. And suddenly we want to offer him an extension.
I kind of wish Phil Jones did that. We gave him a 4-year deal and he just signed it. Like,
yeah, why wouldn't we?
Yeah,
it's not just Phil Jones, man. It's Marcus Rojo.
I mean,
we have a lot of deadwood in the squad.
Jailing.
Yeah. And this comment comes from Cheeky Tofik once again. Okay.
What? The team is going to be 1-0 Bruno penalty.
Yeah. I mean, Mike Dean is going to be the referee. Yes. I don't even know how many penalties we're going to see in the game.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Like, but Mike Dean is going to be the ref. Just 1 second. Say 1 second. Mike Dean is the ref. 100% there will be a penalty. How do you think that Mustafi and the defense will be able to cope with Rashford and Martial with that kind of penalty, with that kind of link-up play?
They're going to have a harder time. So they're really going to need the midfielders to step up and really shield them. But it's going to be hard because they're all so quick, aren't they? Like Greenwood, Martial, Rashford, poor place. I mean, they're so quick. They kind of have this telepathic connection. Like they know where the other one's going to be. And so especially Mustafi, I mean, he gets caught out of position way too many times. And he leaves his leg out often. And I think someone like Bruno Fernandes, he's going to try to make use of that. My prediction is we'll definitely see at least one
Yeah, one question to both of you actually. Like, where do you think the game would be won and lost?
On the football pitch.
No.
Sai Nitin. Hey, it's hurting really, man.
No, wait. Do you know where I learned this? So there's this guy who does Wayne Rooney impressions and Jamie Carragher impressions. He's called Darren Farley. So they did a gig where Rooney would speak to Carragher, and Carragher would ask him, "Where do you think United would win this game?" And he just said they would win the game on the pitch. So
Yeah. And we have another guest appearance now. Please welcome Renguski.
Hello, boys. How are you doing? Special
Hello, hi,
mention
Ron.
for Sai for that amazing joke just before I entered.
turn on your video. I want to see you, man.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, boy.
Why is it raining or?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay.
For the listeners who don't know, Rengu is an ardent Arsenal fan as well. So, Rengu,
name
give
is-
us your thoughts on the game.
His name is Alex.
I think, honestly, United is going to rip us apart. After watching what United did yesterday to one of the best coaches in the world, it does not look great for a project which is still happening under Arteta.
Yeah. So, yeah, what do you think Arteta should do differently in this game?
Like he's been playing around with
And something
formations
is-
for a while.
And something is like smoking. Smoke is like coming out to the screen.
That's my food.
Yeah, he's eating something. Yeah.
He's got his teeth.
I thought that was something else.
Yeah, so
Certain-
Arteta has been playing around with the formations for like months now. He just started using the 4-3-3 decently well in the last couple games.
Yeah.
I don't think we can play that against United in the form that they are in right now.
Yeah. Who do you think is going to win? Like prediction. Give you a match prediction.
I wouldn't want to.
No, like in all seriousness, I know you're going to say United is going to win, but in all seriousness,
Like unless we have a very disciplined, efficient performance like we did against Man City or Liverpool last season in the FA Cup, it's not like that's the only way that I see us like winning, because as we all know, we're still like in the process.
yeah,
3 out of the last 4 seasons, we've escaped to the draw from OT. So
And yeah, our record at Old Trafford is horrendous.
yeah, definitely. You guys haven't won that since 2006, so let's see.
Yeah, I think I never thought I would say this, but David Luiz is our most creative player right now, and
Yeah,
the
he's-
fact that he's not in is going to cost us.
He versus Rashford and Martial. So we wanted anyway, with Mike Dean as a ref, there is definitely a chance of a penalty going to happen.
I think there is definitely going to be a penalty. Like Mustafi was probably our best defender before he got injured in July, but we all know how Mustafi plays, and I feel like a penalty is inevitable in this game, so we have to prepare for that already.
Yeah, and Ole versus Arteta. Which manager would you rather have in your corner?
I think it will be Mikel for sure.
I think
don't
Sai's
really-
reaction says it all.
I think it's I wanted to ask Sairam that I noticed a lot of pundits yesterday saying that Ole just proved himself on the international stage to be a manager who can potentially win the Champions League this year. What do you guys think?
What? No, we're not gonna. I mean, it's obviously it's 2020 after all. Anything can happen, but I don't think we're good enough to win the Champions League. No way.
How far do you think you can go?
It's the Champions League, man. You can go however far you want, so you don't know. I mean, did you think you were gonna win the FA Cup last season?
With the way Arteta was playing, he was really trying to bring discipline in. I can confidently say, when the way that we played against City, I thought we would win.
But the thing
Or-
is, it suited you guys. It was a one-off game, so City had to push for the result, so they left spaces open, and that's when you capitalized. But in a two-legged game, that's not how it's going to be. Or a two-legged tie, should I say? So yeah, winning the Champions League is very, 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 very difficult, man. Like that's probably why you haven't won one yet.
Oh.
Oh, what is your prediction?
Jibes.
Oh God.
So no, it wasn't a dig at Arsenal. I'm just so it's been 12 years since we won one as well. So it's very, very hard. So you have to be on your game like literally every single game. So I don't think we're good enough to win the Champions League yet. I see no one stopping Bayern Munich from getting a back-to-back victory. So
I see Ole Gunnar
not too
Solskjaer stopping Bayern Munich.
unless the great Jurgen Klopp turns up without Mr. Virgil van Dijk, who sadly passed away last week. Thoughts with him. So he turns up. Yeah, I don't see anyone else beating Bayern Munich.
Sai, don't get us caught already in our first stream, man. Please.
Controversy already.
What God? By the way they reacted, you would have thought he died.
Already, you made a Patrice Evra moment now, man. You have to apologize.
Who do you guys think is going to be the most important player for both teams?
Might be.
I hope it's not Maguire and Mustafi.
Yeah. Tofik, Rengu.
Yeah.
There's a question from Tofik.
Okay.
Mustafi or Maguire? Who would you rather have?
Oh, very interesting question.
He'd rather play himself.
I would say Maguire.
Wow. Oh my God. Okay. That's a big
Like I
revelation.
said, but Maguire is not a bad player. It's just he was not in the right frame of mind. So
Like, no matter how much we make fun of Maguire, United still had the third best defense in the league last year.
Yeah.
And he was a very key part of that. I don't think we can say the same thing if Mustafi plays for an entire season.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, Rengu, what are your predictions? Like, tell the score line. I need the score.
Also. Yeah.
It depends a lot on, I think, what type of game Arteta wants to play. Does he want to sit back like how we played against the City? Then I would say maybe like 1-0 or 2-0 to Man United. But if we try to attack them, it can be as bad as how it was against Leipzig.
Okay, fine. And yeah, now Sairam, coming to you. Your thoughts, prediction.
I don't do predictions, but you should probably ask our guy in the group. But yeah, I hope we play a good game, and I just want the team to win.
100%. And Nitin,
I would go with 1-1.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Then
Bruno,
Yeah,
super calm, wonderful finish from the spot, and maybe Aubameyang.
already motive punting.
What do you think, Akash? Actually, what do you think? Actually, being a United fan, yeah, you should answer this.
Put him on the spot. Nice one,
I don't-
Mr. Bayern.
I don't.
Was
I
this
don't.
question asked already? Should Lacazette start?
No, Lacazette should. That question hasn't been asked. Go. Judges.
Yeah.
I mean, analysts. Up to you.
Go on. I
What,
think,
should Lacazette start?
Nitin-
Is that the question?
Yeah,
should
should
Lacazette
Lacazette start or
No.
should there be a
No, he should not start.
Really?
No, he should not start. We need to go
it's-
Alba centrally and two wingers. Hopefully Saka and Pepe, but I think we'll see Willian. But no, I think Alba should be used centrally.
But I think Lacazette is just having a rough patch right now, and
Yes,
I think
I think he needs some time off. I don't think he should be starting at Old Trafford.
yeah.
So hopefully he has a good game today, and maybe we can start him against one of the lesser known sides in Europa League. I mean, Dundalk is pretty much that fits the description. But maybe he can
Yeah.
start against Fulham or something in the Premier League. But
Okay.
no, I wouldn't
So
start
would
him
it
at
be
full back.
Willian and Pepe?
I would go with Saka and Pepe, but I think Arteta will start with Saka and Willian.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now
Okay, Akash, back to
coming.
that question. Back to
Wait,
that
wait.
question. I
Coming.
haven't gotten
I'll
an
tell my predictions later. Don't worry. Coming to coming to another topic, like this season also a battle between two star boys in Bukayo Saka and Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood has been turning it up in the Champions League. Saka is also a brilliant player, massively underrated. Who do you think has the higher ceiling?
I just don't think we should compare them because, for one, they don't play at the same position. I think Greenwood is brilliant when he goes forward. His finishing is top class. I think he is the best finisher at United, maybe along with Martial.
Yeah.
But he's exceptional at what he does. And Saka, I mean, he's so versatile. He can play in a lot of positions. Uh, and his close control dribbling is really good. He knows when to pass, when to move forward. So he links up with his teammates well. So I just think we should just allow them both to grow without comparing.
Yeah. Same answer for you. Same diplomatic answer.
I love Saka, man. I think he's one of the best. He's so versatile. He can play left back, left wing, cam. He's played everywhere that's been asked of him, and he's performed as well. I don't think he's had a bad game for such a young guy who's only 18 years old. So, like he said, it's not fair to compare them both. Let them do whatever they're doing right now. Let's just allow them to do whatever they're doing. So yeah.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
more question actually. I think Partey will be man marking Bruno Fernandes. So, what do you think will be the outcome?
I don't think Partey will man mark Bruno Fernandes.
If not in a diamond, I think he might be the
I don't think
advanced
Arteta will
midfielder.
specifically focus on. Have you ever seen Pep Guardiola man marking someone? I don't think he'd do it.
I'm not sure,
See.
but if that's the case, what do you think will happen?
Like I said, if that's the case,
That
we have other
frees up
players
room
too.
for Pogba. Yeah, exactly.
have
That
other
frees
players.
up room for Pogba to influence the game. And yesterday, I think we saw that basically he dominated the midfield very well against RB Leipzig. He put in that brilliant through ball for Mason, and I think he can also make a difference if Bruno is having a tough game. Depending, like that is if they feel the diamond formation, because if Ole goes back to the 4-2-3-1 again, he's going to play Pogba in a deep, so he will have absolutely no influence on the game. So if they feel the diamond, I think Pogba has every chance to dictate the game if Bruno or say Donny van de Beek is being marked. But I don't think Pep Guardiola will mark the game. But Partey will be crucial. I think, like Murli said, Partey will have a very important role because, like
Yeah,
against Spurs,
he'll be breaking up the play. Yeah,
Højbjerg and Ndombele were massive for Spurs, and that showed that how if you dominate the midfield for against United, you will have a chance of stopping their supply and going forward and scoring. So I think that's what Murli is trying to imply, right?
But
Yeah.
that's fair, but I don't think Arteta's type of the manager who would focus on one player because Partey has a job. He has to break up play. But if he's gonna man mark someone, who is gonna do his job? So I don't think Arteta would do that. Like I said, they will defend as a team. They'll be compact. They'll be hard to let us through. So yeah, it's going to be a difficult game for us.
So Sai, I think Bruno's instructions would be pretty clear, right? Like just go into the box and fall. And
if you see, all the penalties that we've got are actual penalties. None of them are dives or contentious penalties. So I don't think that's a fair. I mean, I see why you say that, and I would agree with those occasions. But apart from that, I think all of those penalties that we've got are actual penalties. So yes. But funnily enough, I don't see a penalty happening in this game. I don't think we'll get a penalty. I don't see a penalty at all. Let's hope we have a good game. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all jobs aside, he's a fantastic player. So let's see what he does.
Yeah, yesterday he completely like changed the game. RB Leipzig couldn't deal with him and Rashford.
When
They
he
were
came
they,
on,
or,
I
yeah.
think before he came on, we were struggling to get a hold of the ball, and after he came on, we were actually more potent going forward. We kept the ball a lot more, and like you said, him and Rashford were unplayable after 60, 70 minutes actually.
Yeah, already they were struggling against Martial and Greenwood, and then immediately Ole just goes for the kill. They could RB Leipzig couldn't deal with it.
Martial looks a bit off, man. I don't think he's still 100% yet. Yesterday he was I don't know, he wasn't himself. So I think this goal would do him a lot of good, because he was saying in an interview that he wasn't worried about not scoring yet this season, but I think he was kind of it was in the back of his mind. And Rashford did a good thing. Not only does he feed kids, but he also feeds his teammates goals. So I think he did a good thing supporting Martial and
I
giving
think
him the
as
penalty.
Bai would say, he transformed the way you play football. Didn't he? Yesterday?
Who?
Bye.
No. Who transformed the way we
Bruno.
play
Bruno.
Bruno, yeah, he's made a massive difference. I wouldn't deny that. So yes.
Yeah, and this question is again from Chiki Tofik. Do you agree with Evra on the no leader in the team comment?
No. Fernandes is a leader, and you could see what he does on the pitch and how vocal he is, and the stuff he does, and stuff that you read about him, what he's done in the past and what he demands of his teammates. So I do agree with Evra to a certain extent, where when he played, that United team had leaders all over the pitch, but this United team maybe has one or two. So that would be the massive difference. But I don't think that I wouldn't agree with him when he says that we don't have a leader on the pitch. But Fernandes is definitely a big leader on the pitch.
Okay, awesome. And yeah, I think we covered all the basics. So finally, Sai, I think we didn't get your predicted lineup. Hit us with it.
Yeah, like I said, De Gea and goal, Van Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire and Shaw, McTominay, Fred. So then it would be Pogba, Bruno, Rashford and Martial.
You're hoping for
Rashford and Greenwood. Sorry, Martial's banned.
Okay, Rengu, are you there?
Rengu? No, James.
Yeah,
Rengu, give your predicted lineup.
I think we have to go with a back three. I don't think we can do a back four like we are recently, but I don't with all the injuries. I don't think we have a back three to play.
Okay.
It's going to be Tierney on LCB.
Okay.
Tierney, Mustafi, and Gabriel. I think it will be Saka left wing. I hope Oba and Willian play in the center with Pepe. But I don't think we can include Pepe in the team right now for this game at least, because he loses the ball so much.
Right. And yeah, fine. And what's your I think we've already covered everything. So yeah, may the best team win, guys. Thank you so much for coming on the stream. It's been an absolute pleasure for you guys to share the screen with you guys on our first ever live stream, and I really hope you guys join for another live stream again.
We'll have to do a watch along or something.
Yeah, definitely.
Pro clubs.
But that's always going to be there. But
I'll leave that to you, Ring.
No, we'll do a watch along for a game that neither United nor Arsenal play. So we'll do something like a City versus Chelsea. Or something
that would be fine.
Yeah, City versus Chelsea.
Pro clubs.
I don't think I would be able to watch United and be in a watch along at the same time. That would be too.
We need. But then
are you trying to turn this into Arsenal fan TV?
Yeah, that's one of my main intentions. We need Bala for this. Okay, shout out. My prediction for this game will be a 2-1 to United.
Now that you mentioned AFTV, he's become like Robbie. Robbie always says 2-1.
Massive. We're going to do this.
Don't ever say that. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Cheers,
Thank you
guys.
so much, guys. Thank you so much, Sairam, for
Bye-bye.
joining this team. Thank you so much, Nitin. Thank you so much, Rengu. Thank you so much,
It was a pleasure, guys.
Murali. Okay.
Thanks for having
Thank
me.
you.
Sure.
Sure. And hope to see you guys again. Okay.
Bye.
Okay. Bye, guys. See you.